Hello, in this box is an action camera. It's not a GoPro, but it is an underwater action camera. And I've bought this for a very specific purpose in the garden. I'm going to be using it for filming the underwater activity in my wildlife pond. So this video will consist of 3 parts. The first part will be unboxing the action camera and laying out everything in this box on this table so we can have a look at it. Then I'm going to go away and read the instructions. So part 2 will be a dissemination of the instructions after I've spent some time digesting them. And then part 3 will be putting this camera to use, and that will be after dark this evening, but I will include that evening footage in this video. So if you hang around to the end, you'll be able to see me using this in the darkness underwater in my wildlife pond, and hopefully getting some footage of some great crested newts. That's if I can get close to them. And in order to get close to them, I've also bought an extending selfie stick. You can see that here. So part 1, unboxing. Part 2, how it works. And part 3, using it. So stick around and you'll see all that in this short video. Now, as I've already said, this is not a GoPro. I couldn't run to a GoPro because GoPros are about £400 or £500. This one was under £100, but you can get action cameras that work underwater for under £30. So I will put a link to an Amazon page which has got several different action cameras on it below this video. I'll also put a link to this specific action camera below this video. If you buy any of these action cameras through my links, I will earn a commission. So just to be transparent, your support is greatly appreciated and all the proceeds go towards projects in my garden. So let me bring the camera in close as I unbox this action camera. It's a Surfola action camera. I'll put the make and model number and the link in the description box below this video. So as you can probably see, the packaging is quite no frills. It's quite an attractive matte black colour. There's a piece of tape here which is holding it closed, so we'll just peel that back and we'll get inside the box and see what we can find. Welcome back. You probably noticed that it said 24 hours later, and there's a very good reason for that, a significant learning point which I'll share with you in a moment. But for now, I'm just going to whistle through everything that came in this box. Okay, before I do that, the price. The camera and everything in the box was just under £70. I bought a selfie stick which was about £10, and I also had to buy a micro SD card, which was just under £10. What I learned first thing was that the camera does not have any internal storage, and I think that is true for most action cameras. So do check that. If you're going to buy one of these, you might need to buy a micro SD card. So the micro SD card came the next day. That's why it was 24 hours later. And it really is just a question of taking the micro SD card out of the box that it came in and slotting it in to the side of the camera. Mine's already in there because I've been using this, and I will be sharing some footage with you in a moment. But without the micro SD card, it won't work. It flashes up on this touch screen that there's no memory. Mine, which I bought from Amazon, next day delivery, comes with a little black adapter, can you see? So that means that I can push that into the side of my computer if I want to download the images onto my computer for editing. You can download it in 2 other ways. Using the cable, that's my preferred method. You can also download images using your Wi-Fi, so there's 3 different ways of taking images from that onto another device. So I've put my micro SD card in there and I've got an adapter. So we've finished talking about that. We shall now place that in that little quality strip tub out of the way. Very quickly, you get a remote microphone and a wind muff. That's what this is here that I'm using to talk to you today. So you can put the camera inside the waterproof case, which I'm going to show you in a moment, and you can switch on a remote microphone so you can speak and narrate what's being recorded. So that's a microphone that also needed charging before you can use it, but you get the cable. Incidentally, you don't get one of those to plug it in. A lot of devices, I've noticed, don't actually come with the thing that you plug into the wall with, but who hasn't got a spare one of them lying around the house nowadays? That's my phone one, which is what I use for charging both the batteries and this microphone. So let's put the microphone in the tub. And whilst we're on the subject of batteries, you get 2 batteries and you get 1 charger. And it's dead easy, you just put them in there. I like that because if one of your batteries runs out, you can swap it very quickly. Now, these have got little black tapes on. And my first reaction to that is, oh, peel it off. It makes the battery work. Do not peel them off, because that little tape is what you use for pulling your battery out of your camera. So if you pull them tapes off, you're a bit sunk. It just slots in there really easily, and then you gently, and I mean gently because they're not industrial technology, these cameras, they're not robust. Do everything gently, and you put your battery in there, and then you switch it on, and it springs into life. As you can see, there's a little noise then which came out of it. And this is a touch screen operated camera, and it's really easy. I did read the instructions. It's quite a thick pad, but there's about 10 different languages, and only about 5 pages of that is English instructions. But it's really intuitive. You don't really need the instructions. That's now got a battery. It's powered up, and I can actually start recording with that just by pressing play. So that will record, and I have used it. And it's actually quite exciting when you start using it. So let's put the camera, let's turn it off again to save the battery. And let's put it in the tub. This is another protective bracket and a protective screen for when you're not doing underwater footage. And you can attach that to these brackets. So that's what all the brackets are for. Now, there are 2 shoes. You can stick them on top of your helmet if you're a cyclist, or even on your dashboard if you want to use it as a dash cam. That one has got a slight curve on the sticky, so that can be stuck quite effectively onto a curved helmet. So those are 2 shoes, and the reason I call them shoes is because these brackets that you can attach the camera to slot into that. So you could stick one of them on the top of your bicycle helmet, and that just goes in and out. And you get various different ones. So I'll just put those in the box. Couldn't work out what that was for, other than the fact that it's for attaching it to a pole. I can't think of a practical application for that, but if you know, put it in the comments box below this video. There must be a reason for that. I can't work it out. I've already attached one of the brackets using the attachment that came with the camera to my extending selfie stick, and that's what I've been using to get underwater footage, which you'll see in a moment. So there we go, put that over there. Do make sure it's tightened up, because you don't want it to be dropping off underwater. A remote control and a Velcro strap, so you can wear that like a watch round your wrist. I suppose if you're scuba diving, I will not be scuba diving in my wildlife pond, I can assure you, but I suppose if you are scuba diving, you can put that round your wrist, and it's a 2-state operation, on and off, and it works. Some more brackets, 2 batteries, 1 charger, 1 cable, and a waterproof case. Now this is why I bought this. I bought this so that I can film the frogs, toads and newts underwater, and all the other underwater wildlife in my wildlife pond. And this is the case that it comes with. It's not actually a waterproof camera. It's a camera that you put in a waterproof case. I'll show you how easy it is now, because I'll do it in front of your eyes. Obviously, line the lens up with the lens aperture on the case and just drop it in. close it up, and it's got a rubber seal, and now it's got one of those latches that you latch over there and close down. That is now waterproof. That camera is in a waterproof case. And the buttons on the camera are replicated here on the outside, so I can now use one of the buttons to switch it on. You see it's coming on inside there. On, off, press play, and you can use these side buttons for the functionality of the camera. That, very neatly now, just gets screwed onto my selfie stick. I'll lock the selfie stick, tighten up all the things, and I'm good to go. If I use my remote now and press record, I'm now recording the camera. And outside my window, and it's your action camera. But incidentally, I noticed when I did the setup, and the setup is very easy, it's got image stabilization, which I think you would expect. It's also got two different quality modes. Now, if you're going to download the footage off that onto another device, you might be disappointed with the quality, but it can be fixed, and this is quite common. Make sure you are playing it on something at the right quality. So when I'm doing my editing, the first thing I always have to do in my edit suite is change the quality of the playback. So it's not just the quality of the record, it's the quality of the playback. One last thing which I've learned about this is you can connect this to your mobile phone. Now mine is on the tripod recording me, so I can't demonstrate it. But you can connect this to your mobile phone, and you can watch what you're recording on your mobile phone. That's going to be useful for me, because if I'm doing stuff underwater, I'll be able to watch the monitor and see what I can see underneath the water in a way that I wouldn't be able to do unless I got in the pond with it. And I'm not doing that. Right, I suppose you want to see some footage of this working. I did go out last night in the darkness and I did capture a newt. But it's clear to me that what I really need to do, let me just stop recording. That was still recording from the remote. It's clear to me what I really need to do is play around with it and practice. There will be skills that I'll need to develop when I'm using this, but on the whole, I'm extremely pleased with that. £70 for the camera, £10 for the selfie stick, and £10 for the micro SD card, which you've got to have. So we're still under £90. £90 is not an insignificant amount of money, but it's certainly not £400, which is what your GoPros sell for, or you have to pay for. So we'll see how we get on, and I will be able to also use that as a second camera for my video. So if I'm doing a piece to camera, I can also use this to focus in on some detail. So I've now got two cameras for my videoing. Yeah, I'm excited to get playing with this. And if you want to see the footage, obviously subscribe and hit the notifications bell, but I will link to some footage, some further footage at the end of this video. But for now, here is a little bit of footage that I've taken. I'm not going to come back at the end of this footage. So I'll say goodbye now. I'll see you soon for some more underwater action camera adventures. Here's the footage.